Recording in progress.
Bore da, everybody. Good morning, everyone. I'm Councillor John Roberts, and I will be chairing this meeting. Welcome to this morning's multi-location meeting of the Licensing Subcommittee. In addition to committee members, we also have non-committee members, cabinet members, officers and members of the public joining us to assist with our discussions. I can confirm that a sound check has been conducted before the start of the meeting, so I assume everyone can hear me. Yes, fine. Thank you. The meeting will be recorded and live streamed and will be available for viewing after the meeting. Should the live streaming fail, the meeting will continue and the recording will be available through the Council's website following the conclusion of the meeting. For those of you online, if you wish to speak, please use the raise hand function. All microphones will be muted. If you have indicated your intention to speak, you will be invited to turn your microphone on. If you leave your device for any reason, can you please ensure that you are muted and that you turn your video off? I expect everyone present and participating in this meeting to conduct themselves appropriately and be respectful to each other. That applies to members, officers, and anyone in the public gallery. Right. We're ready to move on to the agenda. Any apologies, please, item 1?
No apologies, Chair.
Declarations of interest. Item 2. Members are reminded that they must declare the existence and nature of their declared personal interest. Have we any? No, we haven't. Urgent matters, I haven't got any.
No
Jane?
urgent matters, Chair.
Thank you very much. Item 4. Licensing Act 2003. Application for review of a premise license. PLNA 0121 EFES FS Kebab House. And I will read now the hearing procedure, which are on pages 3 to 12 of your pack. Right. The head of Regulatory Housing Services or his representative will briefly outline the application. That's Mr. John Donnelly over here. The applicant will be invited to make their application and call evidence as appropriate. Objectors, yourselves, may then question the applicant. Is that clear? Yeah. Thank you. And members will agree what we need to ask, and we may ask questions as well at that time. The objectors, then yourselves, will be invited to present your evidence, and of course, the same way the applicant will be invited to ask you questions as well. Thank you. And then we can ask questions as well. And at the end of that, when the questions are finished, you may make your closing speech. And also we go back to Mr. Haggis, who will also make his closing speech. And after that, we will deliberate. Okay, but we'll get to that when we reach that part first. Thank you, Mr. Donnelly. Do I need to do you need to introduce yourselves? Shall we do that first? Okay.
Please, Chair.
We'll start with Mr. Haggis over there, although I know him, he can introduce himself.
Good morning. My name is Aaron Haggis. I am the licensing officer for North Wales Police, the applicant for this hearing. I cover both Conway and Denbighshire.
Thank you.
I'm Catherine Williams. I'm a solicitor with Conway County Borough Council.
I'm John Donnelly. I'm the Principal Trading Standards and Licensing Officer and the Head of Services Regulatory Representative.
Maya Roberts, Licensing Officer for Conway.
Thank you. Yourselves?
My Bilgin Adamış FF's Kebab House owner is a licensing holder.
Thank you. And your wife?
Yeah, she's my wife.
Okay. Thank you very much. To my left,
Morning, Jane Jones, Committee Services.
my colleague.
Councillor Stephen Price.
Okay.
Councillor Alan Hunter.
We have one more person who's online. Jeff.
Good morning. Jeff Stewart, Councillor and Cabinet Member for Regulatory Services.
Thank you very much. Now then, over to you, John.
Thank you, Chair.
The licensing authority has received an application to review a premises license in accordance with the Licensing Act 2003 in respect of the premises known as Effie's Kebab House. As a consequence of the necessary consultation period and the required public notices, the licensing authority did not receive any further representations. The application has been determined therefore valid, therefore the subcommittee is required to determine the application taking into account all relevant facts and evidence. Acting in the capacity of the licensing authorities, members must seek to promote the licensing objectives, and where members consider matters have been engaged on one or more of the objectives, they may exercise their discretion. Members are also reminded that they may not exercise discretion in any case merely because it considers it to be desirable, and should provide reasons for any decisions taken, or where it might consider departing in any way from protocol, policy or guidance. The subcommittee must have regard to the representations made and take such steps as it considers appropriate for the licensing objectives. The subcommittee can take no action, modify the license or impose any condition to such an extent that the authority deems appropriate to promote the licensing objectives, exclude a licensable activity from the license, suspend the license for a period not exceeding 3 months, revoke the license. On the 28th of the 10th, 2024, an application was submitted to the licensing authority for the review of the premises license known as Effie's Kebab House, 19 Abergele Road, Colwyn Bay. The premises presently benefits from a license PNLA 0121, which is attached at Appendix A. The applicant, North Wales Police, has applied for review on the grounds there is a clear lack of management of the premises and a disregard to the principles of the Licensing Act 2003, in that the premises has failed to prevent crime and disorder and failed to protect the public safety. The application for review and the supporting documentation is submitted to members in Appendix B. Members will note when considering the application, they should take into account balancing the interests of the owners, employees, customers, and neighbours of the premises. Members are reminded that should any conditions be added, they should be practical, enforceable, and appropriate to promote the licensing objectives. No complaints with regard to the operation of the premises have been received by the licensing authority prior to this application. The premises is authorised for late night refreshment only. Members will need to carefully consider all the relevant information provided and give due consideration to all the representations put forward. If members of the opinion one or more of the licensing objectives would be undermined by the continued operation of the premises, then are able to overcome this by way of additional conditions, then members must consider all the available options in 2.2. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Donnelly. I now invite Mr. Haggis to oversee your application. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. It's the opinion of North Wales Police that the premises has failed to promote the licence objectives, specifically the prevention of crime and disorder and public safety. There are two incidents which I will allude to during this hearing, the first of which occurred on the 17th of August 2024 at 1:43 a.m. Following a dispute within the premises between staff and a member of the public, a member of the public has proceeded to squirt sauce and throw soft drinks at staff. In retaliation, staff have then squirted sauce back at the customer and have then chosen to threaten, intimidate and pursue the customer utilising knives and a motor vehicle. The frustrating thing with this particular incident is that staff members put forward a call to North Wales Police highlighting that they were having a challenging incident with a member of the public. I should highlight that this was very quiet in the kebab shop at this time and there was only the one customer. Therefore, there wasn't a concern with regards to the safety of other customers or members of staff, as the staff member was behind the counter. When the call was coming through, the staff member continued to make threats of what they intended to do to the customer. North Wales Police call handling staff attempted to engage with the staff member to ensure they remained on the line and they did not take the matters into their own hand. Unfortunately, we were we were unsuccessful in ensuring the staff member did not take any action. The second incident was on the 10th of October at 3:48 a.m. North Wales Police were notified by town centre CCTV operators that there was a person with an imitation firearm outside the premises, pointing it at the premises. North Wales Police have serious concerns with how the premises has chosen to manage challenging customers. The decision to utilise knives to pursue customers away from the premises and then to utilise a vehicle to intimidate customers with knives as a means of resolution is beyond any means which may be considered reasonable, especially as the police had been contacted by the premises. Specifically, the customer had left the premises when the staff chose to pursue them, so the matter in essence had been resolved. Member of staff could have shut the door, locked the door and just waited for police arrival. However, again, they took the matter into their own hands. With regards to the incident in October, staff members engaging in jokes and games with imitation firearms is a serious concern and only further calls into the question as to whether the premises should hold a premises licence, which requires them to promote the 4 licensing objectives of the prevention of crime and disorder. Staff members remain working at the premises and police investigation remain ongoing. The seriousness of these concerns cannot be underestimated. The premises intimidating, threatening customers or acting in an appropriate manner with imitation firearms is a very serious matter, and the consequences could have been much worse, including harm or even loss of life had staff members caught up with that customer on that particular evening. Situation that we dealt with in August was wholly created by the premises. Situation October again is down to the failing of the premises to act in an appropriate manner. Being a licence holder requires that a premises and all its staff promotes the licensing objectives at all times that they operate in. These 2 incidents highlight serious concerns, and during my time working as a licensing officer, I've never come across a situation where members of staff have utilised knives to chase, threaten and intimidate customers, or have utilised imitation firearms as some kind of joke during the hours of licensable activities. North Wales Police do not have trust, faith or confidence in this premises to continue to operate accordingly or appropriately or even responsibly. Therefore, due to the seriousness of the matter, the instance and the opinion of North Wales Police, we feel that revocation of the premises licence is the most appropriate course of action.
Thank you, Mr. Haggis. Have you any questions, please, for Mr. Haggis? Could you put your mic?
Sorry, it's not question, it's just be one question. Who is calling the police is this happen on the business? This is the calling on the police is staff. That's the family business. It's my son. Both of the worker is my son and one delivery driver. I speak to my son. It's gone. It's a bit toys. Delivery driver son toys. That I know. I understand. I'm sorry, wasting your time. You were correct. It's not public place. It's not allowed. He said 16, nearly 15 years, but I'm running this business. I have the second business on the Colburn Bay as well. We had it's not happened last 15 years. I know it's not right. I tell him that my son and stuff is not allowed. I told her is waiting on the behind the counter, is not allowed outside the counter. He said apologize as well. As I know we're too late. I need to be, you're thinking about it, just family business, all family look after it. That my business be started after 9 o'clock till by 12.
Okay, I must stop you there. You must ask a question of Mr.
No, just
Haggis, and then we will come to you in a minute.
Yeah, just
Okay.
question on the who is called the
John.
police that time?
Okay, that's the question.
Yeah,
Thank
oh.
you.
Okay, so on the incident in August, a member of staff has called the police. The two members, if they're saying that if you say they're your sons, one of your sons has contacted the police. The police have tried to engage with him because he's been very upset, very irate. He said what the intention was, what he wanted to do, and the police operator did say, "Don't do this. Stay on the line. Allow the police to manage this situation." And then on the second instance in October, that was picked up by Town Centre CCTV, who notified the police. It should be highlighted that the response rate of the police for both incidents was very quick.
Thank you. Mr. Donnelly wants to come in.
Chair, if I could just note that North Wales Police has submitted CCTV footage as evidence. It is recommended that members exempt this CCTV footage from public display for various reasons, which are in the public interest. So if members could decide if they wish to see the CCTV footage, and if so, would they vote on whether that should be excluded from the hearing under section 14 of the regulations?
Give me 2 seconds. Yeah, we agree that we should see the CCTV incident, but because of matters of data protection and so on, that will not be open to the public.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Okay, those on live stream, you won't be able to see this CTV, unfortunately, but there will be a pause now and for us to watch it here, and then we'll come back to you after, and you can join us again. Thank you.
Remind everyone that there are no discussions to be held during watching the CCTV. All questions and discussions be in public following viewing.
Thank you, Catherine.
Unless it's anything, just to clarify this actual situation that's ongoing there.
Thank you. Are you back online now? Can you indicate you okay? Thank you. Mr. Donnelly.
It's just back to North Wales Police to finish any comment they made to make, Chair.
Now we've seen the CCTV. Do you want to add to that, please?
I think the CCTV speaks for itself. You saw the kebab shop on the evening, in the morning of in August. Nobody there. At low level demand. It wasn't like they were busy. It wasn't like there was a big issue, concern, etc., etc. The customers squirted sauce. The staff have squirted sauce over the customer. The customers left the premises. It can only be described as a very irresponsible, huge overreaction to a very minor incident, something that can happen. That's not to say it's correct. And the premises did do the correct course of action, contact the police, and it could have been just a case of shutting the door, wait for the police to arrive and get them to take that person away. You saw the member of staff driving around in their vehicle and handing the knife over to the other member of staff. Again, there's concerns regarding somebody driving a motor vehicle when they're quite irate, quite agitated. There could have been damage to other members of the public, vehicles, property, etc. So it is quite a fortunate incident that the police have managed to turn up and deal with it in how they had. I don't want to think how it could have progressed, in all honesty. With the incident with the BB gun, it's very, very poor to see that. It's grown men messing around with toys that look like guns that are firing. Worst case scenario there, you know, we've picked them up, but members of staff could have been injured there, BB gun to the eye, etc. Just very immature and irresponsible behaviour by members of staff who have been entrusted to promote the licensing objectives. And there is concern with how they could manage any kind of incident of seriousness. Would it be knives? Would it be guns, etc.? And consideration has to be given to that. I think the CCTV is quite damning because there's nothing to suggest that the premises was under duress. So they had to take that course of action. It's just a very poor viewing and a very poor situation that we find ourselves in. Thank you.
Thank you for that. Have you another question, please, before you come to your statement?
No, thank you.
No questions. Okay. Any of my colleagues, have you a question? Councillor Allen? Stephen? Right, so we'll go to your statement now, please. Objectors will be invited to give evidence, call witnesses. So you may make your statement now. Thank you.
Just I'm saying, just as family business be here. I see the videos and photo is not a reason, you know, the action. I know it's not good. It's not. That's guns on the toys. That's when I got staff just going outside on the night. It's be street or not anybody's there. It's the reason is my staff is be calling the police. Just saying, come on to help. Between police comes and a ringing time between, I should see the videos as well. It's past a half an hour time. When we have the need between that time, when ringing the police, if police not coming straight away, it's comes delayed. People just showing on the camera, it's some couple of things, not see the whole action. When you got to see the whole action, is people is not stop, not just this one. We are doing that things nearly every weekend, every day. We had never left before on the business. I run on business nearly 15 years on Colwyn Bay. You never heard. That's the people's broken my glass, people's broken my car. Never happened before. Just as first time, one reason. I know this is not good. I understand. I understand policeman as well. I'm sorry to be keeping the busy that time of night. Just that's the family business. Just I'm saying now is we got to hand on the heart. You're thinking about everybody thinking about the self. That's reason be good enough. The killing on my business. I can't say after that. I believe I trust all you two. I can't say anything. I'm sorry, behalf of my staff. I have the two business on Colwyn Bay. I run on the boat. One of them 10 years, one of them 15 years. Never happened before. Just first time. Just I'm asking, please, just keeping my license. I know that's the times of 3:45. That time is the shops be closed anyway. That's stuff on the plane on the street. That is not business open that time. It's normally now when it pubs be closing time be early. I be latest because weekend 2 o'clock. Weekdays be 12:30, 1 o'clock anyway. Just 9 and 12, we are the business time, making the business look after my family. Just go, you're thinking about it now, just cut off the time. Just look like if it closed my shop. Close my shop's a lot better than cut off the time. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Mr. Haggis, have you any questions, please?
No, thank you.
My colleagues, have you any questions? My colleague has a question for you.
It's actually a question for both Mr. Haggis and for the business owners. I'll start first with Mr. Haggis. Mr. Haggis, do you have any figures as to how many police have responded to abuse to retail workers within the last 6 months?
With all due respect, this hearing is related to incidents with one premises. So I can't pull those statistics out. Sorry.
Can I ask yourselves, how many incidents have you had of abuse in the last 6 months?
We has not this one, not at all before, not last 6 months. No, not like this case before. Nearly 15 years, not last 6 months. Just first time, I'm trying to say, but just first time now. I'm shocked as well. I said, I told his gentleman seated before the council as well. I said, I apologize, I'm sorry. Just I explained, I now is give it a 100% guarantee, never hurt any more. I give 100% guarantee everyone. Thank you.
Ms. Allen? Okay, I have a question, and if I'm wrong, I'm sure Mr. Donnelly will correct me. Is this to do with your premises license? I've looked at the license. Now, the 17th of August is a Saturday. Check that, I'm sure I'm right. And it says on your license that you would have weekends, which Saturday is a weekend, I will have security on site. Did you have security on site?
No, I speak to before the council. We close it early. 1 or 2 o'clock, we not need the security. I used to using it.
But you didn't have security at that time?
Used to be, yes.
Okay, that's fine. No, on the night in question, you
Yeah.
did not have security.
That's me, I'm more explain. I will start to close a bit early. When I will stop the smoke on the pub, all pubs be shut down be early. We are closed early as well. After 11 o'clock, 10 or 11 o'clock, after just doing deliveries, not many customers anyway inside the business.
But it's also to do with your license. It says that any disturbance outside the property will be handled by the local police. That is clearly down in your license. But obviously what we saw there that did not stop. You did not stop at your door step. You actually went outside, which is, according to the license, should be handled by the police. How do you answer that?
I understand. I said it before as well. That's the problem is going outside the counter. Normally, we are not allowed outside the counter.
Yes, it clearly states on there.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to know that
Yeah,
you were aware of that.
I know
You're aware.
I know the law, what's going on, you know.
Yeah.
I be careful all the time. Just means just one mistake. I don't know, just be look like we. I can't explain.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
thank you. So we come now to your closing statement, please. Anything you want to say again?
I can't say anything now, you know, just, I'm saying, just going hand on the heart, you're thinking about the business and family as well. I said just 100% guarantee after, just before that case was started, 100% give you a guarantee, stop anymore, not heard like this. You'll see heard like this before next time, you cut off the license straight away. Please just give it more options, keep open.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Haggis, your closing statement?
Premises who choose to take the law into their own hands should understand that there may be consequences for their actions. For all incidents involving licensed premises, a fair and balanced view and opinion is taken by North Wales Police. It is agreed that members of the public can be challenging and that there should be consideration with regards to valid mitigation for how premises respond to challenging circumstances. However, the instance that this premises has failed far exceeds what can be considered appropriate or reasonable course of action when dealing with members of the public. Threatening, intimidating, and pursuing members of the public with weapons in a vehicle is a serious failing, and the seriousness of this should be properly acknowledged, and very much an overreaction to a very low-level threat. The misuse and tomfoolery involving an imitation firearm is purely unacceptable. The mitigation that is a family business and needs to remain open beyond 9 o'clock is not valid mitigation, as there could have been serious injury or possible death to individuals. Messing around with imitation firearms and pursuing members of the public with weapons can have serious repercussions, not only to the individuals involved, but also for the sense of security, safety, and vulnerability within the local community. Such threatening behaviour can have far wide repercussions, not only to the persons, the community, and the county itself. Knife crime cannot and should not be tolerated as part of the licensed economy. Families are seriously affected, as are the community, when there are victims of knife crime. Consideration was given as to what could be given with regards to tackling this poor evidence of customer management. However, the premises failing to comply with existing conditions only highlights that revocation falls within the scope of a reasonable course of action in response to the incidents which have been highlighted during this hearing. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Well, that concludes that part of the meeting. We will need to deliberate now, and Catherine Williams will stay with us as our legal advisor. I regard this as quite complex, and therefore we will deliberate, and you will get to know our decision within 5 working days. We will write to you within 5 working days. Okay?
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. So
Thank you.
You can all leave now. Thank you.
Jack, thank you for attending. The committee will deliberate now
Sorry, I was,
and we can close the meeting.
thank you, Jeff.
Thank you, Sean. Happy New Year and Christmas to you both and everybody else.
Same
okay?
to you.
Take care.
Be careful
Bye.
what you, how do you do over the new year.
Yeah, on CCTV. Bye all.
Thank you, everybody. Goodbye. Happy Christmas.
And you, Andrew.
Thank you, Andrew. Thank you, members.